Hello, my darlings. It is time. We've come to the conclusion, the finale, if you will, of our 10-part series of bills floating around in our Senate and Assembly houses, respectively, that will greatly affect your liquor store, your winery, your distiller, everybody, to varying degrees. The last one I did took everything, and no one would be left unscathed, because there would be no one left. The bill that we're going to do now, in conclusion, doesn't have a number, I don't think, really. Hang on. This is the PPGG Budget Bill Part O, Subpart E, titled Fulfillment Centers. Normally at the end, I will give you the Senate and Assembly members, respectively, their contact information. So for this one, we're going to do this slightly differently. This is Governor Hochul, in terms of the information that I will be presenting to you in the still. What I'm going to be reading to you is the Joint Memorandum of Opposition. This memo was built by the Metro Package Store Association, the New York State Liquor Store Association, and the Retailers Alliance. We've run the gauntlet, I think, of the 10 bills that are floating around. Some of them will hurt. Some of them will sever, and the one that we just did will very successfully, very succinctly, and quickly end everything. This particular bill of fulfillment centers reads as follows. Together, the organizations listed above, representing approximately 3,400 liquor stores across New York State, strongly oppose the above-referenced section of the 2026 budget proposal that would allow for the creation of fulfillment centers across the state. Small businesses are the backbone of the state's alcohol retail system. This section of the budget threatens their long-term viability by creating market conditions that overwhelmingly favor large national retailers and fulfillment platforms. While the proposal is framed as a modernization of shipping and compliance rules, its practical impact is to empower corporations with vast logistical networks, such as big box chains and online mega retailers, at the direct expense of the neighborhood shops that have served New York communities for generations. The bill's creation of a fulfillment warehouse permit and expansion of consumer shipping rights grant a structural advantage to companies capable of centralized storage, automated order processing, and high-volume distribution. National chains already maintain massive warehouses and enjoy economies of scale that allow them to undercut prices, often far greater selection, and market across the entire state. Small retailers, most of whom operate a single storefront with limited inventory and staffing, cannot compete with a model that allows a big box retailer to ship to every zip code in New York with the ease and pricing power of a national e-commerce business. By enabling this type of remote statewide retailing, the bill accelerates market consolidation and invites large out-of-state actors to dominate sales and local stores that local stores rely on for survival. It is essentially a workaround to the one license per person law by allowing big box stores to ship directly to consumers across the entire state, regardless of where their brick and mortar storefront is located. In addition to enabling large retailers to expand their reach, the legislation imposes new compliance burdens that fall hardest on the small businesses. Requirements such as mandatory ATAP certification for delivery personnel, Twice annual detailed reporting, stringent ID and record-keeping obligations may be manageable for large corporations with dedicated compliance departments, but they create significant operational stress for a store staffed by 2 or 3 employees. These independent operators do not have the resources to absorb the administrative workload or the additional liability exposure associated with these mandates. The result is that these very businesses least capable of managing these new requirements will be the ones most burdened by them. If this bill becomes a law without meaningful protections for small retailers, New York will likely see significant job losses, vacant storefronts, and a decline in the local economic activity that community-based liquor stores provide. These family-owned businesses employ local residents, support local events, and pay local taxes. When they are pushed out by large centralized shipping operations, the economic benefits they generate for their neighborhood disappears. The long-term costs to communities and consumers, not just in prices, but in diversity of choice and availability of local products, far outweigh any regulatory efficiencies the bill may be intended to achieve. For these reasons, we respectfully urge the governor and the legislature not to advance this proposal. Part O, Subpart E, threatens the survival of the very retailers who form the foundation of New York's alcohol marketplace. What are they talking about? Well, it's a river. There's a jungle. It's very green, very lovely, very deadly. Amazon. Amazon wants to be able to ship spirits and wine. That's what this is. So Amazon is asking for fulfillment centers to be able to ship wine and spirits to you at your home, which, as an Amazon fan in general, it sounds like a great idea. Very convenient, very lovely, 10 out of 10, except it's not. Because let's talk about some things. Number one, if you're not home and your kids are they gonna allow your kids to sign for it? Probably not. There's also the issue of deliveries being taken, porch pirates. You'll have theft from the Amazon drivers, especially if they know it's alcohol, and it would most likely have to be marked as such. We've pretty much gotten out of the shipping business only because I've had a couple of packages not just damaged, but taken by shipping staff. And it's not worth it for us to do it, quite honestly, as much as I would love to be able to reach everybody. Since the laws for TikTok have changed, I don't have the market that I used to have, unfortunately. So I'm going to have to find other ways of doing it. But this would allow Amazon to ship alcohol to you. And again, while I understand this sounds appealing, please understand the cost of this convenience, because it's, like it said in the statement, stores with 2 or 3 employees are not going to be able to do what the state is going to ask them to do. They just can't. There's not, somebody has to be trained or certified or whatever, and you're taking somebody off the floor to do this, and it's a pain. It's a pain in the butt. And I used to be a UPS store manager. I know how to ship, and we still had issues. And it's a pain because then you have to replace things. Well, what if you don't have the item to replace? Then you have to give them their money back. And it's a pain in the ass. And I understand that Amazon wants to come in here and do these things. But you're going to have theft. You're going to have kids get access to alcohol way easier. And it doesn't need... There's a recurring theme. There's really a recurring theme where all of these people, all of these legislators are creating a problem so that they can be the hero to solve it. Stop creating problems. And if the problem never existed, there's not a problem to solve. It is not a problem right now for you to be able to get your alcohol through the delivery system of your liquor store, if they have one. We do. We do home delivery. Or through DoorDash or Instacart. I think Uber Eats has been absorbed by somebody. But there are systems in place right now that would allow you to get your stuff at home. There's safeguards in place, that type of thing. We can't guarantee the same will happen with Amazon. And so that's what this bill is Amazon, as you know, it's a huge, huge, huge corporation. There's a lot of money in this company. Their pockets are deep. Part of that is my problem. Part of that may be your problem. But together, we have to tell our state, specifically Governor Hochul, Amazon can sell a lot of things just fine. They do not need to send alcohol. I would rather deal locally because I value my local retailer. I value the ability to have a conversation with somebody where I can get their advice and know that what I'm getting is not going to go down the drain. Because I know, as well as you know, that if you, say for example, you wanted a Riesling. It's going to show you all these Rieslings. It's going to give you all of these reviews that are AI generated or whoever generated them. And it's going to give you exactly what you want to hear. Every bottle you look at is going to sound incredible. If you are able to go to your liquor store and talk to them, the people that have tried these things, they will tell you which one is better. They're not gonna tell you, oh, well, this one is fantastic, and you get it home and you're like, that is a drain pour if I've ever had one because it's crap. They're not going to do that to you because they want to make you happy. They're going to tell you what sells good. They're going to tell you which one moves better than the other one. They're going to tell you which one they've had that they really, really liked. They're going to be able to tell you these things. You're going to waste your money if you are going on Amazon to go look for a bottle, especially if it's like a new bottle. You're done. You're done. Tap out. Because it's going to overwhelm you. And it's not fair to you, which I totally get. But you're not gonna know. And then on the other hand, you're gonna have to keep records on your side of what bottles you like and which bottles you don't like. Because it'll make suggestions for you, as you know. But it's not a person generating that. That's AI. Come into the liquor store. We will help you find things. And we will make sure they're in your price point. We'll filter out the whatever that you don't want. We'll make sure that we're in the right county or the right country or whatever, we're going to get you a bottle we believe in. Amazon is not going to do that. So I'm going to post the still at the end of this. This is Governor Hochul's information. Please reach out to her. Please let her know that this is an overstep by Amazon. It's not necessary. It doesn't need to happen. Let her know how you feel about it. I appreciate all of you who have been with me for all 10 videos. I appreciate all of you who have told me you're watching. This is the conclusion of those 10 bills. And the fight is not over until it's over. And so I'm asking you to join us. Add your voice, your words, your passion to helping us protect small businesses and jobs in our state, not just mine or my husband's or Brian's, but so many, so many that are not on the front lines. We have to stand up to these thoughts, these ideas, this money. Our voices have to speak louder. We have to push, because if we don't push and we just sit down, my job is gone. Your local liquor store is gone. The effects on the economy are going to be detrimental. So please help us in joining the campaign. All we can do is try. So I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good evening.